guys, we rolled into the basement job again this morning. Got some stumps we got to pop out of the way. Well, let me tell you, it has been quite the adventure so far. So to get you guys caught up to speed, we're putting the basement in on this lot. No man behind the scenes over there. He's on the dozer. Jerry couldn't make it today, so Aaron's done pretty good. Slow and steady. He don't have a lot of experience on the dozer, but he understands how it's supposed to work. But remember whenever I hauled this Traco in yesterday, I'm like, hey, we're gonna come in a different way this morning. Well, let me tell you, we hauled the dozer and the brace rack in here. I took a wrong turn. Semi ended up in the ditch. We had to winch the dozer off the semi because it was leaning so bad. And then we had to go almost 7 miles out of the way to turn around. And I apologize, I did not get any of this on video. I didn't even get a picture of it. We had traffic held up. It was a mess. But we finally made it here. Getting sorted out. First thing we got to do is get all these stumps out of the way. Get all these stumps out of the way so we can get this house laid out. This is like horsefly central down here. Get all these stumps out of the way. Once we get the stumps out of the way, I can get that trailer unloaded. It's got all of our former drain on it that Matt had. Once we get Matt unloaded, we can send him after some lumber we're going to need. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, once we get oh, hang on there, hang on. Get that unloaded, send him out to some lumber, then we get the basement laid out where we actually got to dig, and hopefully we can start slinging some dirt here in a minute. The homeowner come through and cut all these trees off. He was trying to save some of his lumber so he could use it in his house. He actually did a pretty decent job. He left most of the stumps pretty high, which makes taking the stumps out not miserable. And most of them aren't very big stumps. We've been busting them pretty quick, but let me get these stumps out. We'll get this hole cleaned up. Ooh, look at there, right there in the corner of the house. I'm not taking that one up. Stump. Don't you do it? Save it. So anyways, let me get this cleaned up here a little bit. We'll get this house laid off, and then I think you'll be able to see a little bit better about what we got going on. It's kind of a mess right now, to be honest with you. We'll get it. We got all the stumps popped out, looking pretty good. We got just a few of them to clean up over there. I think I'm going to hop on the dozer, just kind of do what I call making a clean slate, so it's easier to stretch tapes and get everything laid out, and hopefully we'll get to digging on this basement, because that is the ultimate goal. All right, so we got our bottom line down there established. This one's 60 feet. Our cross measurements was 71, 3.5.
3.5, yeah.
So where those two tapes cross at
60, 3.5.
That should be the corner. of the basement right there. Gonna even set more in my fist.
I think you're gonna need a hammer there, buddy.
Then we'll double check it going that way. All right, so we got her laid off. Man, this is nice. This is a square box. Well, I guess technically it's a rectangle. But
with a hypotenuse. We
got bubblegum flavored paint. It does smell like bubblegum.
It does.
I can't believe that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, all right. These guys have doubts whether or not I can paint a straight line.
Well, you got the short one under control. Let's see if you can do the long side.
Oh, it's twice as easy because it's twice as far.
Uh-huh.
Watch and learn, boys. Watch and learn.
Here we go.
Ready?
From this post to that post. Ready, set, go.
It'd be great if you trip right now, Paul.
It'd be awesome. Your starting point's a little weird, but you ended very nicely. Y'all see that? Good thing he's not trying to use an excavator today.
Alright guys, we are officially digging. I missed the first scoop, but we got the second one here. It has been one of those days, let me tell you. I spent 10 minutes looking for my GoPro that was in my back pocket. So I decided a GoPro is a good exercise device. I don't know how many miles I walk looking for that thing on a daily basis, but we're officially digging. We're going to go at it. I'm saving a little bit of this better dirt, throw it up here on the back side so the contractor can use it for backfill later. The rest of this dirt is not quite as good. We're going to throw it out here in the middle and let Aaron push off. Get rid of it. We got this is going to be a walkout. We'll dig this walkout at a different point. This walkout goes down over the hill here. I'm not going to get too carried away with digging that today. I just want to get this in here so we can get footers in. Once we get that dug while we're waiting on things, we'll come back and do that. We'll throw a little dirt underneath this track, level myself up, so I'm digging.
That was Jason. He's looking at a Jeep already.
Alright, sorry I keep getting interrupted with phone calls and stuff here, but Matt took off to get lunch and a few supplies. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere. So I'm going to check grade here, just kind of see where we're at. See how close a guess I got. Where's the laser at? Oh, it's behind me. Wrong side of the hole for that. Close. We're about a foot off. A little bit deeper yet. Alright guys, we have turned the corner going the other way. Aaron does not have a lot of experience on a dozer. He's done a really good job over there keeping up. Trying to peel some of his topsoil off, throw over to the side here one way. And we'll save it for later, even though it's got a lot of roots and stuff in it. It's better than nothing. And all the stuff that's not any good, like this stuff here, we'll throw it over and let Aaron push it up in a pile. Look at that, he's keeping up. He is keeping up. So far so good. I'll check back with you guys here a little bit. This thing, you guys see that? There's horse flies down here. The size of a horse, I swear. They're massive. We got this line dug, and I got the line up here dug. The way the dirt's coming out of this thing, I think at this point what we're going to do is I'm going to hog about half this center out. It's a little deep up here on this end. Stay. Oh, you got to be. I tried to use you guys to catch it. Didn't work. But anyways, we're gonna hog out this half here, and then we'll probably go over there and find that line over there. We still got the one stake down there. I don't know if you guys caught it, but we painted reference marks out past the wall. We got one there, and there's one up there. And we still got that stake in down there. So this being a square box, it's pretty easy to keep track of where you're at. It's just a matter of getting the dirt out of it. So there we go. All right, guys, we're still digging along here. We're closing in on about halfway on this thing, but Just sitting here thinking, I get comments occasionally. I'm trying to keep Aaron covered up over there. I get comments occasionally about which way to dig with the Traco, where you should dig over the drives or over the idlers. Well, I don't know. It seems to be split half the time. I got one guy comments all the time, tells me how I'm doing it wrong, I'm digging over the drives. But personally, I prefer to dig over the drives because the machine don't move near as much. If you're digging over the idlers, the drive is what actually keeps the track locked. So you're putting all that pressure through the chain, and it's still going back. Still going back to that sprocket, that drive gear. That's what holds you solid. But you are putting maybe a little extra pressure on that bearing in there. On bigger Tracos, I've just not had much issues with drives. I've got 12,000 hours on that John Deere, and I've dug every way imaginable on that thing. What I usually do is what makes the most sense for the situation. Like right here where I'm at, I'm digging downhill. I think it's more important to keep the turntable of the machine as level as possible. If you're just going to be sitting here slinging dirt, it's easier on the turntable and it's easier on the swing gear motor. Oh, look at that, I got it that time. Ah, got it that time. I tried to clean his blade off last time, and I ended up hooking his blade and turning him around backwards. But I got the blade facing downhill, which is on the idler side. I got the drives facing uphill, which is the side I'm digging. I'm using the blade to keep the turntable level so I can swing. And it does two things. It makes it easier to swing. It also makes it easier for me to dig a flat bottom hole. So that's more important than which end of the tracks I'm digging over. But curious what you guys do, if you even pay any attention to it at all, or if you got a preference. I know some manufacturers have suggestions and some don't, but honestly, I just kind of go with it. We'll check back in here in a minute. We're making pretty good progress. We got concrete and an inspection ordered for in the morning, so we pretty much have no choice but to commit and get this thing dug. So turned out to be a pretty nice day considering how it started off. Hate to jinx it, but it's going pretty good.
All right, guys, so what we're doing here, Mike is getting the grade at the bottom of the basement roughed in. So you can see, started back in this highest corner here. We're going to try to get it all this same level all the way down to that corner stake you see right wherever it is, right there. So as he digs into that bank, takes dirt away, I go down and I check grade to see how close or how far off, which typically when it comes to Dirt Perfect, I really hate it that I'm saying this, but when it comes to Dirt Perfect, he's usually pretty daggone close. So you can see the receiver up there and you can hear that fast beep. That means we're just a slight bit high, and I am on the actual in between the tooth marks, whereas if I jump to the tooth mark, I get nothing and I have to raise it a little bit to get it solid. So right in between the tooth and the gap in the teeth is, as I was saying, Dirt Perfect. right, everybody, what we're looking for here on the overall length is 64.6 plus or minus 4. You can see there 64.6 right on the money. Dirt Perfect is doing a pretty good job digging. All right, everybody, we're about two and a half buckets away from finishing this dig. Oh, and as usual, DP's phone's ringing.
I know where it's at.
Stops all progress as soon as the phone's ringing. It's probably just Mama.
Brent Lettering.
Brett Lecturing, the one and only. I think Mike's going to do some scratching right here, pull it all in against that backside, finish it out. Volvo getting it done. So, everybody, why might one wonder that Mr. DP gave the man behind the scenes and Matt the camera? I'll give you the first chance at answering. Why do you think the man behind the scenes?
Well, because we do a lot better filming and we make a lot better video than him.
Well, I have one better than that.
Oh yeah, what's this one?
He broke his case that has his microphone, so now when he's on a piece of equipment, no one can hear you.
Yeah.
Brand new camera, just purchased last week because what did he do, man behind the scenes?
No, I don't think, he didn't run over, the skidster did.
But he's the one who magnetized it to the skid steer.
He's trying to blame it on the skid steer.
That's exactly right. Oh, now he's down here
there he is,
complaining, hands up, because why isn't anybody checking my grade? So anyway, we've got to run the camera up here because Mr. DP can't be heard while he's running equipment. Stay tuned for the final grade, folks.
right, guys, there she is, all dug out. That's what we're going to call the wrap at for today. Aaron's going to get the machine parked up. For not being an operator, he did really good today. We definitely got some loose ends to tie up in the morning, but it's getting late, so in the morning it'll have to be. We're heading out for now. All right, guys, day 2. We're going to start in on some former drain. I'm going to set you down the corner, do time-lapse style, and I'll show you what we got. All right, guys, this was a pretty fast-paced job. I tried to get as much video as I could, but just to give you kind of a timeline of the previous days, we got on the job about 8, probably started popping stumps about 8:30. I'd say by noon or just a little before is when we actually started digging the basement, and we left the job site at 6:30 with a dug basement. Now this basement here, the house itself is 38 by 60, so we dug the hole about 42 by 64-ish, I believe is what it was. I don't know, Matt made that measurement there earlier, but we usually shoot for at least a 2-foot over dig. Just to give us room to work and kind of keep us as safe as possible. It's 9 foot deep up on the high end and about 4.5 feet deep down here on the low end. So this system you see us going in right here is what we call a forma drain system. I have multiple videos on my channel of this forma drain, how it works and how to install it. So I was busy on the dozer kind of getting the site ready for the concrete truck to come in later. So the crew was tackling putting the former drain in. It's a pretty slick system. It's exactly what it says. It's the concrete form for the footer, and then it also doubles as the perimeter drain after the concrete's poured. Took these guys about an hour and a half, 2 hours, real time to get this all down and ready to pour. One comment I get a lot on these footer videos is, that would never fly in my part of the woods, or you never get away with that around here. Well, you're exactly right, but you're missing an obvious point. I am not where you are at. I am where I am at, and this is pretty standard procedure what we do around here. So you got to do what the competition does, and you got to do what code allows. We do have a footer inspection on this. The inspector did come out, inspect these footings, and gave us everything's good to go. This clay digs kind of rough, and this rock's cheaper than concrete, so we just sprinkle some 11s in there to take up any imperfections in our grade. And usually we kind of dig this hole about 1 inch or 2 deep, and then hold that form and drain up. It's just easier to come back and shake this rock around there than what it is to chisel your way through it to try to get set on there. You just end up with better grades, what we found out over the years. So this thing, I'd say worst case scenario, got 2 inches of rock in some random places. Most of it's about 1 inch of rock, and then you get a little bit on the outside to protect the drain part of it. Now I hopped down the hole right here is what we got digging what they call a frost footer. That's where the walkout basement's going to be, so we actually have to lower that footer down below the frost level to protect it from freezing. So that's why that former drain don't go all the way through, and you see me over there digging. Code around here requires 2 4-inch runs of 1/2 inch bar, which is what you guys see tied in right there. What we're cutting here is actually the vertical stakes that'll go in we will wet set, and that will tie the footer and the ICF wall all together when the time comes. But this, like I said, this took about an hour and a half, and then we were on to concrete. Wherever. All right, guys, there it is. You see it in time lapse. She's ready to pour. Concrete truck has rolled in, so let's make her happen. Alright guys, so this is obviously after our footer inspection and concrete has showed up. I get a few questions about this attachment on the end of the trunk or end of the chute for the concrete truck. We call that an elephant trunk attachment. They have a short one and a long one. This particular one here is actually owned by the concrete company Malzers or Central Concrete, or I don't even know what they're even called now. They've switched names a few times. They've got bought out. But they have one. You can just request it when you order your concrete. We actually own one as well. We have poured with other companies who do not have one, and they are super handy for pouring these footers or reaching down in here. Really helps control the concrete and helps a lot of the splatter than that concrete just falling down there. I think I bought mine on eBay for like $150, so they're pretty reasonable. But we get this poured out. You'll see Matt come back, stretch a string, wet set our concrete for the walls. Right after this, our ICF delivery. shows up, and we are on the walls, guys. I did not get a lot of video of stacking these walls, but I got some awesome video of pouring them. So hopefully you stay tuned for that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, guys. And as always, we shall catch you guys on the next one.